Okay, good morning everyone. So we're back in the kitchen and today we're going to cook Anzac biscuits. I'm going to cook these in memory of my nan who passed away on Anzac Day, and she was a fabulous cook, as most nans are. I'm even wearing her apron today, so hopefully her skill rubs off a little bit. The Anzac biscuits has got a lot of history and tradition around Anzac Day, and some of it's a little bit unclear, so it might be something that you choose to research for yourself at home. The origins of the Anzac biscuits are thought to be around World War I, and it was thought that they may have been sent off in care packages to soldiers. The Australian War Memorials got some great information about it on their website that you might like to read. So what we need, our ingredients, the main one would be the rolled oats. We also need some plain flour, bicarb soda, and sugar, usually caster sugar, but I just use whatever I've got at home. So I usually use a raw sugar, some golden syrup, some butter, and then some coconut. And then don't forget our equipment that we need. We need a bowl to mix it all in, saucepan, a spoon to mix with, our measuring tools, I've got a few more today, and our baking tray. So the first thing we need to do before we start is preheat our oven, and I've preheated ours to about 170 degrees. Then what we need to do is to add all our dry ingredients to the bowl. So I should have said before you start, make sure you wash your hands. I've done mine before, and also check with mum and dad before you use the stove or the oven. We need both today, the stovetop and the oven, so you'll need their help. Okay, so our dry ingredients first. Some rolled oats. We need 1 cup of rolled oats. We need 1 1/4 cups of plain flour. Now you could sift the flour into the bowl. I'm going a little bit rustic today. I don't think we don't have a sifter here. So 1 1/4 cups of plain flour. We'll put our coconut in. Put that open. So we need 3/4 cup of coconut. So I'm going to use the 1/2 cup measure. And then my 1/4 cup measure, and that'll give me 3/4. And I'm going to put my sugar in there as well. So 1/2 cup of sugar. You could put a little less sugar in. I quite often do that. It is quite a sweet recipe with the golden syrup. Okay, so when we've added all our dry ingredients, we just give those a little mix to combine them. And then on the heat, we need to melt our butter and golden syrup. So that's what we needed our saucepan for. Okay, so we'll put our saucepan on the heat. Now, if you have a look on the edge of your butter, you'll see the measurements along the side. We can usually start at the 50-gram measure. So we need 150 grams of butter. So 50, 100, 150. So I'm going to cut on that line. So I'll open the butter out. Put that in. Now we don't want to burn the butter, so we need to turn it down a little bit. Just take that off the heat for a minute. You can probably cut that a little bit before you put it into the saucepan. Just so it doesn't burn as it's melting. Okay, to that I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of golden syrup. And then we'll just stir that so as it's melting again, so it doesn't burn. Keep a careful eye on it. Okay, so that's nearly melted. Yep, give it that final stir so it's all mixed in. Now we have to add our half a teaspoon of bicarb soda to our mix. Now if I have got this right, it should bubble up as I'm stirring and as it's added, so you need to remove it from the heat quite quickly. Yep. Okay, so you might like to also look into that chemical reaction while you're at home, how that happens. Okay, so when we're done, we add that to our dry mixture. And just stir it till it's well combined. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now, if you're just cooking at home for your family and you've washed your hands, you can get your hands in there and make sure that it is all mixed very, very well. That's what I would usually do at home. But so we've got our baking tray. We need to spray our tray so the biscuits don't stick. Give the tray quite a good coating. Then with a tablespoon or a dessert spoon, you're just getting out spoonfuls of the mixture and you're making a ball of the mixture and putting them on the tray. You don't want to make them or put them too close together because they will spread a little bit as they're cooking. Give them plenty of room. I usually put two. Try and make them the same size so they cook fairly evenly. Once you've made the balls and put them on the tray, you could give them a little press with a fork just to flatten them out into that biscuit shape. Okay, so I've filled the tray. That's about the space you'll want to leave between them. When you've got them on your tray, they just need to go into the oven. Usually put them on that middle shelf. And they'll need to cook until they're brown, about 10 minutes or so. Just keep an eye on them, just till they're lightly brown on top. Okay, hope you enjoy your Anzac biscuits. Okay, so while we're waiting for our biscuits to cook, I thought I might read you a story about Anzac biscuits. So this story is called Anzac Biscuits, and it's written by Phil Cummings and illustrated by Owen Swan. And it's about a young girl who bakes some Anzac biscuits with her mum while her dad is away fighting in the war. The farm was quiet. Rachel and her mother were in the kitchen. The fire crackled and Rachel was warm. "Let's make some biscuits for Dad," her mother said. "Yes, let's," Rachel cried. The soldier looked across the fields as the night wind howled. There was a blinding flash and a deafening boom, and the young soldier quaked. Rachel's mother put on her apron. It was her favourite, white and patterned with wild flowers. Rachel opened the cupboard. Bowls, pots, pans tumbled to the floor. Bang, crash, bang. Shots rang out. Bang, bang, bang. The soldier lay low. The flowers of the field brushed his grimy cheek. "How much flour?" asked Rachel. "This much," laughed her mother as she covered the table white like a field of snow. "We need oats," her mother added. Rachel scooped them up and dropped them like snowflakes. Snow was falling. The soldier turned his back to the bitter cold. He lifted his collar and lowered his unshaven face to feel the warmth of his own breath. Rachel licked the spoon. Treacle stuck to her fingers. The soldier trudged along the trench. thick mud stuck to his boots. Rachel stoked the fire and smoke drifted around. She loved the smell of burning red gum. There's a photo of her dad in the background. The soldier bravely lifted his head to peer across the fields. The smoke of angry guns drifted like an ocean mist. It was a choking smell he would never forget. Rachel rolled and patted the biscuits. They lay on the tray ready to slide into the oven. Rachel and her mother twirled and sang, Waltzing Matilda. The soldier lay still in his cold bed. He saw stars and heard singing. I wonder if it was Rachel and Mum he could hear singing. The biscuits were cooling, but Rachel took one and nibbled it. These are the best biscuits ever, she said. Yes, I think they are, said her mother. Daddy will love them, won't he, said Rachel. I think he will, said her mother. And he did. And there's the box of biscuits that they sent with a lovely note. Okay, so we're back from reading our story, and these biscuits smell delicious. So I'm pretty sure they're cooked. We'll check the oven. So make sure you use a tea towel or a hand mitt, something to get them out. The tray will be very hot. And yep, they look like they're nicely brown. So we'll take those out. And then all you need to do is just let them cool about 10 minutes. You can move them to a cooling rack once they've had a few minutes on the tray to cool down. And then they'll be right to eat. So a special shout out to 56E. You've been sending me some amazing photos of some beautiful things you're cooking at home. But I challenge you to try my recipe and send your photos of your Anzac biscuits. Okay, see ya.